Over the years, the Sonic franchise has given us a plethora of diverse and fascinating characters, some of which have helped Sonic in his quest for good, while others, well, not so much. But that doesn't stop fans from loving them. So today we're taking a look at these fan favorites and counting them down in our list of the top 10 Sonic characters. And at number 10 is Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik. The main antagonist of the Sonic series, and one of the first characters whose origins go back right to the start of Sonic's story, Robotnik made his debut in 1991's Sonic the Hedgehog. His conception occurred a year earlier, in an attempt to replace Sega's then mascot Alex Kidd. A caricature of Theodore Roosevelt in PJs combined with the idea of creating an egg-shaped character was the basis for his visual design. He was then positioned as being the opposite of Sonic, representing machinery, and became Sonic's first foe. Due to the English manual of the 1991 game calling him Dr. Ivo Robotnik and the Japanese one calling him Dr. Eggman, there's always been a bit of a mix-up between the two names, despite Sega commenting that Robotnik is his true name, and the other just a common name taken after his shape. Up next, number 9 is Silver the Hedgehog. Despite making his debut in the definitely not the best Sonic game ever, Sonic 06, Silver the Hedgehog comes from around 200 years in the future, with the goal of altering events in the past in order to save his era. Capable of psychokinesis, an ability that is apparently of the norm in his time, Silver is an optimist with a strong sense of justice, who wears his heart on his sleeve. There are those who aren't fans of the time-traveling hedgehog though. One of the character's biggest critiques was that he was too similar to Sonic, especially considering Shadow, who is pretty much on par with the Blue Blur, already existed as a parallel to the protagonist. Up next, number 8 is Rouge the Bat. First appearing in Sonic Adventure 2, Rouge is a spy trained in stealth, infiltration, combat, and is capable of some grade A sass. Oh, and also has a high-powered kick in flight, which also comes in handy. She's a world-famous freelance treasure hunter, whose motivations are always a bit of an enigma. In Sonic Adventure 2, she's introduced to us when she tries to steal the Master Emerald out from under Knuckles, and then goes on the hunt for its shards when Knuckles smashes it to prevent Eggman from getting it. While fans seem to adore Rouge, her critical response upon her arrival left some feeling that she was just the female version of Knuckles, except with bat wings and breasts. Up next, number 7 is Amy Rose. Amy Rose, Sonic's self-proclaimed girlfriend, first appeared in the games in 1993's Sonic CD. Her debut was not originally in the games though, but rather in the Sonic the Hedgehog manga, where she went under a different name, and was the girlfriend of a hedgehog who turned into the superhero Sonic the Hedgehog. But it's important to remember that Amy isn't a character who solely chases after Sonic's affections. Having appeared in pretty much every Sonic game prior to Sonic CD, as well as being a playable character quite often and having her own game with Cream the Rabbit, Amy is notable for her Pico Pico hammer, an aspect of the character that made players adore playing or teaming up with her in the games. Up next, number 6 is Metal Sonic. Another reoccurring antagonist of Sonic's, Metal Sonic is a robotic creation made in Sonic's image by Dr. Robotnik, and oh boy does Metal Sonic have his moments, giving players some of the best boss battles of the series. An intelligent, cold-hearted machine, nothing drives Metal Sonic more than his desire to prove that he's superior to Sonic, even to the point where he will disobey Eggman, his maker, in order to do so. Up next, number 5 is Blaze the Cat. Blaze is a pyrokinetic who is from an alternate dimension in which she is tasked with guarding the Soul Emeralds. Calm and elegant but with a fiery disposition, Blaze quickly became a fan favorite after appearing in Sonic Rush, later to appear in the multiple Sonic games preceding it. First created as a female parallel to Sonic, the two fought against each other, but then eventually worked together, proving that Blaze is definitely a force to be reckoned with, especially when she transforms into Burning Blaze, a state in which she harnesses the power of the Soul Emeralds. Up next, number 4 is Tails. Sonic's faithful sidekick, Miles Tails Prower, first appeared on the scene in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 back in 1992. Tails has shown that you don't always need speed to hold your own. His flight abilities have always been a great asset to the Blue Blur, and in the narratives of the games, comics, and cartoon shows, Tails' mechanical knowledge and gusto have helped Sonic and friends in many ways, making him an incredibly handy resource outside of just being a loyal buddy. Up next, number 3 is Shadow the Hedgehog. Sonic's arch-rival was created by Gerald Robotnik, intended to be the ultimate life form, in hopes to help cure his granddaughter Maria. While Shadow was eventually contained, Eggman would release him 5 years later, hoping to use his power to further his agenda, but Shadow wasn't feeling that, rather turning a heroic cheek, and instead of getting his vengeance for Maria's death, he decided to help keep the world safe instead. That being said, Shadow is pretty much on par in terms of abilities with Sonic, and has been described as the quintessential anti-Sonic, typically being rated as second to none except to Sonic himself. The only reason Shadow doesn't come in higher on this list is due to the fact that there's a small divide between some Sonic fans, with part of the fandom, including critics, strongly disliking Shadow for being somewhat of a carbon copy of Sonic, except darker and more broody. In our number 2 spot is Knuckles the Echidna. It's easy to see why Knuckles is adored. Occasionally referred to as the Batman of the Sonic series, Knuckles shares many similar traits to the superhero, minus you know, being human and being an echidna instead. His heart is always in the right place, and he's dead set on doing the honorable, just thing, whatever the situation. Incredibly loyal but not without flaws, having a fiery temper, Knuckles goes beyond just being a companion to Sonic, despite their initial rivalry. Ever since his first appearance in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, he's been largely popular, even becoming a playable character in the game's follow-up, Sonic and Knuckles in 1994. And let's not forget that Knuckles packs quite the punch, possibly being the most powerful character in terms of sheer strength in the entire series, whose muscle has been noted to be on par with Sonic's speed in terms of power. And finally, in our number 1 spot is Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, come on, do I really need to tell you why Sonic is the best? The leading face of the franchise, Sega's iconic mascot, and a character that millions have fallen in love with since hitting the video game scene in 1991, Sonic the Hedgehog is undeniably one of the greats. And despite a history of ups and downs with the franchise, you can't deny that the Sonic games have had an impact on the 2D side-scrolling games in general, as well as taking massive strides in 2D to 3D gameplay mechanics, like we saw in Sonic Generations. Being one of the highest-selling video game franchises, Sonic as a character has gone further than just being a character on our home consoles, reaching out into other aspects of pop culture like comics, manga, and TV series. Alright, there we have it, friends. Who is your favorite Sonic character? Let us know in those comments below. And if you dug this video, show us some love and hit those like and subscribe buttons. And maybe hop on over to our channel to watch some other videos, maybe some of the ones in our top 10 Sonic playlist. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I've been Kelly Pally and this is Top 10 Gaming. I'll catch you on the next one.